This is a pedal board for the amazing Val McCallum. Val plays with Jackson Brown, in addition to the band Jack Shit. I'm going to be going through the signal path of this pedal board, in addition to some of the custom modifications done to individual pedals, and also some of the Vertex prototype pedals that show up on Val's board. We're going to start at the buffer interface, which is located right beneath the TC Polytune Mini. The guitar is going to enter there passively, no input buffer yet, and it goes directly to the Vertex access wah. From the access wah, it goes into the Vertex BC109 fuzz, and that's located right next to the Vertex volume pedal. From the BC109 fuzz, it then goes back into the buffer interface where everything all started and receives the input buffer from there, and then goes into the dynamic distortion located right next to the fuzz. The dynamic distortion first showed up on Michael Landau's board, and this is sort of a Maxon SD9 that has a completely rebuilt tone control, more gain, more output. And although it shares some of those similarities, it's really a different animal, but it certainly was the genesis of what this was born from. So I wanted to mention that. From the dynamic distortion, it goes into the Roger Mayer Voodoo 1. This has been modified for true bypass. Then it goes to the Menatone Red Snapper. Then to the Vertex Boost, and the Vertex Boost will be available in production in February of 2014, so just under a month it will be available. And the Vertex Boost links out to the Vertex Volume Expression pedal. It's being used here as an expression for the boost, so when the boost is engaged, you'll have control over the boosted level with the expression pedal. And when the boost is disengaged, the expression pedal will still be functional, but simply as a volume pedal, it will only go from off, completely silent, and then at the maximum in the toe down position, it will be at unity gain. Again, just as a volume pedal would function. From the boost, it then goes to the Voodoo Vibe, also by Roger Mayer. This has been modified for true bypass as well. From the Voodoo Vibe, it then goes into the Vertex modified Line 6 DL4. This is not something that I offer any longer. However, for rigs that are incorporating the DL4 as a part of it, I will still do those modifications. From the DL4, it goes stereo out into the Strymon Flint. And then from the Strymon Flint, it goes stereo out back into the buffer interface, where there is a dedicated buffer for the left and right. If the system were to be used in mono, however, there is an internal mixer that mixes the left and right signal, and then will just give you a straight left mono signal in this case. So you have the option to do both. You can run it mono, you can run it stereo, and you don't have the typical consequences of a lot of stereo output buffers where when you go mono, you just get the left, and then you won't get any of the right. And so sometimes that can sound a little bit imbalanced if you don't have them mixed again when you're using them in mono. As far as custom modifications, as I mentioned, I did a few true bypass mods to the Voodoo Vibe and the Roger Mayer Voodoo 1. And then, of course, the Line 6 DL4 Vertex mod. That's a significant improvement over the DL4. One of the things it corrects is the volume drop, in addition to making a few sonic changes, and then also increasing the reliability with the momentary switches being replaced with a little higher quality momentary switches. I also have individual volume controls behind the pedal, right next to the left and right outputs, so that you can balance those out perfectly with your amp with the trim pots that I've put back there. On the buffer interface, I also wanted to mention that the TC Polytune is getting a feed from the input buffer, so that's just being fed from a tuner out, which is just, again, split off the input buffer. You'll also see on here, again, the Vertex BC109 fuzz. That's something that I hope to have in production this spring. And again, the dynamic distortion, also another pedal I hope to have out this spring. And the Vertex Boost and also the Michael Landau Boost will both be out in February of 2014. If you'd like to see any more information about this pedal board, you can visit my website at vertexfx.com and go to the system design part of the homepage, and that will take you to a blog section which will detail more of the things that are on this board. And if you'd like to visit Val, you can visit him at valmccallum.com and see what he's up to and when he may be touring or have any dates locally or in your area. Please like this video if you like the content and if you'd like to see more like this. And I'll look forward to having you come to the website and asking questions below. Thanks.